kick on, maybe double that, get to at least 180 with half the over still to go. But it was bang, bang, and that's what made the difference. 2 wickets quickly, and new start all over again, even for the best. The bowlers, pretty good. Karthik?
Yeah, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, the pick of the bowlers. Outstanding skills from it. None for 25 or 4. Sandeep Sharma, none for 36 or 4. Natarajan, 1 for 34. Rashid Khan, economical but couldn't get a wicket. Abhishek, the man, and Shankar, who provided the breakthrough at a crucial stage. To win this third game of this Dream 11 IPL here in Dubai, Sunrisers Hyderabad beat 164 in their 20 overs.
The man is back. It is Super V Monday. Virat Kohli back in town, but unfortunately not the result that he was after from an individual point of view. Out for 14, but AB de Villiers, it doesn't matter how long this man spends out of the game, he is class personified. Another 50. He loves scoring 50s. And on debut, Padikkal, what an opportunity, and he has grasped it with both hands. Speaking of 50s, he brought one up on debut for RCB. We'll talk about that in a moment. I've got Kevin Peterson alongside me, but Virat Kohli, the man is back. Not quite the start he was after, but he was just trying to get things going for RCB.
Yeah, they got them going nicely. I thought they were building the partnership, and you could see what he was trying to do. He was identifying a certain bowler, and he was going to go after that bowler. But the running between wickets, you know what? Occasionally you may not come out and smack it to all parts, but you can still teach people a lesson. You can still teach batsmen around the world a lesson. And this is the lesson that de Villiers and Kohli put on today. They started slowly. One of them was going to go out. It wasn't Virat's night, but it was de Villiers's.
And that's almost a bonus for RCB as well, the fact that it's not always Kohli,
yeah.
But as you say, it was AB de Villiers. In the end, he scored 51 off 30. It's so impressive how long he spent away from the game to just come out and play like that.
It is, and I heard Michael Slater on commentary there saying that he had a little brief stint at, I think it was the Melbourne Stars or the Brisbane Heat last year in the Big Bash, and his game travels, as Slat says, and you can see that bowlers also travel when they bowl to de Villiers. I think the 2 shots that really impressed me were later on in his innings when he was searching for sixes. That one, I mean, that there as a batter is such a hard shot. And then he goes and does that. That's harder. So he just kept us in suspense, waiting. And one of Kohli or de Villiers was going to shine. Tonight, it was de Villiers.
Mr. 360. Now, let's talk about the debutant, shall we? Devdutt Padikkal. What a performance.
Yeah.
50 on debut. You were hoping that maybe he could go on with it and score a ton, but I reckon 50 is pretty good.
Yeah, 50 is very, very good. I was equally impressed with his maturity and in his stroke play. This is the shot that set him off. And I remember being on commentary talking about how still his head was and how calm he looked. But he scored all the way down the ground. That slower ball there that he was able to roll his wrists on and caress it through the offside. The little pick up there of a ball that wasn't particularly short. I thought that he showed real good signs, and there's a good reason why. He's made 50 on debut in all forms of the game that he's played, and he turns up here this evening and makes another 50. So for Virat Kohli and for everybody at the RCB, they'll be thinking, wow, we may have found a little bit of a gem here, because he certainly showed it.
Super classy and super relaxed. It was the second best score on debut for RCB. Chris Gale had a ton on debut, so he's in pretty handy company, is Devdutt Padikkal. Now these two, they're the key for the run chase. 164. They're both in wonderful form. They were unbelievable in IPL 2019 as well.
Yeah, they were. They batted beautifully together, and the surprising thing about that partnership last year was that Bairstow was running the show. Warner normally runs the show for Sunrisers Hyderabad. He normally runs the show when he bats for Australia. But last year, it was Bairstow, and he was giving Bairstow all the strikes. So when you have a look at those two, it's encouraging to see them play. But I think the interesting thing now will be, can RCB's bowlers actually get this job done? Because, I mean, the whole show has been about Super V and his team and Super V Monday, etc., etc. There'll be a lot of chat amongst Hesson, Chahal, Dale Steyn, all the guys that are going to come in and do the job for RCB. Can they get that job done? Because that's so important for them winning the campaign.
So So who is the man to get those two blokes out?
Okay, well, the man is Dale Steyn, because Dale Steyn came in last year and he actually really made a difference. He gave the experience to the bowling. That's what they lacked last year. Came in, got it, got injured, had to go home. They want longevity from Dale Steyn this tournament.
Well, 46.9 is David Warner's average in 2020s in the UAE. Johnny Bairstow is coming off a ton in England. So they're in great form. They love this arena. Let's get out to the middle for the run chase.
IPL, September 19th to November 2.